Hey, what is up, everybody? Platform Disciple here. Today I'm going to be doing a deck tech for you. And the deck tech is built around the card Cultural Exchange, which we're going to look at for just a second. And Cultural Exchange is a 2-cost ability for Warpath and Descendants of the Dragons that allows you to play an additional location the following turn. So ordinarily you can only have one location card, and playing a second one will replace the first one. Every time you play Cultural Exchange, it increases the total number of locations you can have by 1. And what I want to highlight here is that playing multiple Cultural Exchanges can increase that even further. So you can have, theoretically, a very high number of location cards by playing multiple copies of Cultural Exchange and playing Recycle. Cultural Exchange is a card that I think is really interesting, but hasn't seen a lot of play. And I think part of the reason for that is that the card is really hard to make work. And there's a lot of reasons that that is the case. First of all, it is Warpath and Descendants of the Dragons, so the card is not very flexible. You have to play it in a specific faction combination, and that combination is not a combination that has historically gotten played together a lot. The next component of this that I'm just going to demonstrate by, this is the fastest way for me to show you all of the location cards, is just to open up an Enya list. But there aren't that many locations in the game, which makes sense because there doesn't need to be that many locations, because any given deck really shouldn't be running more than one specific location card, because there is that opportunity cost where you can only have one out. So it makes sense that from a design perspective, you don't saturate the game with location cards, but it does pose a unique challenge for Cultural Exchange. And you're also already locked into at least one Warpath and at least one Descendants of the Dragons. So you only have one spare faction pip to play around with, and there isn't a whole lot of choices that you have. Okay, and we'll go down this rabbit hole further. Cultural Exchange, for it to work, you have to have Cultural Exchange, first of all, and then you have to have the locations, and you have to have multiple of them. So you have to draw them in a specific order, you have to play them in a specific order, and if you end up overdrawing one of those two components, like if you draw all your Cultural Exchanges but no locations, or you draw all your locations and no Cultural Exchanges, you're going to have a bad time. And the last thing about this is that location cards, by their nature, tend to have impact over a longer span of time. So for you to kind of cash in on the value of having multiple locations, the game needs to go on a significant amount of time longer than the amount of time that it took for you to get out the two locations. That all of this blends into a really significant challenge to make the card work. So I have made my best attempt here to make the strongest possible Cultural Exchange deck that I was capable of making. This doesn't necessarily mean that this is a good deck. As a matter of fact, I would argue that it's not a good deck. And for somebody who thinks they can build a better Cultural Exchange deck, I would really encourage you to do that, because I'd like to see it. For those of you interested in this deck list, it's going to be in the description of the video, which you can, of course, copy and paste and import into the game, regardless of whether you own the cards. And if you have a better Cultural Exchange deck, post it so that I can copy it. But let's quickly go over kind of the list. So it's 2 Descendants of the Dragons and 1 Warpath. And let's go over the locations first, because that's very significant. So we have 2 Corrupted Forests, and this serves to slow down the game, reduces the amount of damage we take from enemy characters, and also makes our characters a little stronger. We have Honor Hill, which is a weird one, but because of how long the games go with this deck, if you are in that control versus control match, Honor Hill is going to be worth it, and if it's not worth it, you just don't play it. It's that simple. Next, we have the Great Fortress of Han, and this is a very critical one, because this is one of the cards that allows you to prolong the game. I think this is one of the coolest cards to get out multiple copies of with Cultural Exchange, but I do want to highlight here how much you have to work to make that card worth it, because we can always play Repair. Repair costs 2 less and heals us for 15. So for Great Fortress of Han to be worth it, the card has to be out for more than 3 turns. Because it costs 2 more, we don't break even once we've gained 15 health. We really only break even once we've gained 20 health. And even then, that's debatable whether that extra 2 is worth it or not. But this deck is so slow that it does happen. Then we have 1 Burg, and Burg is really significant for us because it is a potential win con. It's also gets us to be able to ramp, which is going to allow us to play our other locations. So Burg is one of the high priority locations. And then finally, we have Contained Parallel Rift. And Contained Parallel Rift is the first location we go for. And the reason for this is that Contained Parallel Rift is going to allow us to find our cultural exchanges and our locations in a timely fashion, instead of sitting there and not getting the pieces we need. And for that reason, we're playing 3 Cartographers, because it will find us the Contained Parallel Rift, and that turns out to be very important. The rest of the deck are pieces of cards, or are cards that stall the game. There are a couple other things I should mention here. We've got 3 Gather Shots and 3 Recycles, which is crucial, because with Cultural Exchange as a 3 of, we have access to our base location plus 3 more. And we are playing, I believe, 8 location cards here. So we got 4, 5, 6, I miss 7, 8. Yeah, the Corrupted Forest. So we have 8. So we can play all 8, but it does require some finagling with Gather Thoughts. So you don't always play all 8, but to get all those locations out, we do have to work very hard. And then the last kind of card I should mention here is Shun's Urn. This is our primary win condition. If we lose both of our Shun's Urns and we lose Burg, we probably deck out before we kill our opponent, which I have had happen in a game where I've practiced this. This deck I have tried before. And with that, we're going to just jump right into it, and I'll show you how it performs. Hopefully we get into a match real quick. Oh, perfect. We got into a match very quick. We are against Duelist, and again, I will reiterate that I have worked very hard to make this deck functional. It is not good. So who knows if we're going to be able to pull something off here. We have a reasonable opening hand. We have a Cultural Exchange. We have Spirit of the Ancient Guardians. We have a very strong early game command zone, which I didn't really talk about. Our command zone is basically just to try to get us through the early game. We're looking at some kind of aspirants list with Evilly, so I really don't know what to expect here. I don't think I'm going to mulligan. I think I'm just going to run as is. We can do Brings Life by Passing here, which doesn't really ramp us to a relevant amount immediately. We could also do Cultural Exchange, which I'd like to make it clear that the turn 2 Cultural Exchange doesn't actually do anything. That playing this card doesn't do anything until I've got my second location out, and I only have 1 location. So it's debatable whether that's worth it. But I'm thinking I'm going to do Cultural Exchange anyways. Maybe play around a Commando. Okay, well, he commandoed the Gao Han instead. Okay, interesting. Noble Protector off of Evilly. So I'm not sure if Evilly is just being used as a value piece, or if there's a specific set of cards that Duelist is trying to assemble. We have Infected Monk, and again, we're really just stalling here, and Infected Monk is fantastic for stalling. Like, we're going to take some chip damage from Chlor, but it's probably going to be a bit before Duelist actually gets in with anything other than Chlor. Okay, double Bombard. Okay, solid block for us. We can do a Brings Life by passing Gather Thoughts, and the reason we might do this now is because we hit Cultural Exchange, and Gao Han's not a horrible card to draw again, to be honest. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. The alternative would be to play Spirit of the Ancient Guardians, but I'm thinking that Blunt the Assault might be a reasonable next turn for us. Blunt the Assault here is going to help us soak a lot of damage. It's not going to do much else for us. I think it's still a good play. We're also after Duelist in priority, so if he Evilies, we still have this hit. But this Blunt the Assault might not kill anything, but with the current board, it gains us 12 health by preventing 12 damage, essentially, which is a decent exchange, and it's going to probably prevent more. Did not, but we're okay with that. We have another Blunt the Assault, and we do have priority, which is actually an incredible top deck. We could Gather Thoughts here and get both Blunt the Assaults back. That would probably be smart. Yeah, we probably should do that. I'd like to save it for the Cultural Exchange, but because we're against double Flame Dawn, we don't necessarily have the privilege of being able to just do nothing with our spare resources. And we have priority here, so our Blunt the Assault goes off first. Not bad. And I think we want to set up for a Calamity. So what we can do is we can do a Great Fortress of Shihan. Then next turn, we could put 9 in to set up for Calamity. Could also do Corrupted Forest. That probably... It's more resource efficient, and it actually, I think, heals us more because it prevents 4 damage right away. And it might end up preventing more damage if we're a little... Like, we're expecting charge characters, so... Okay, so we don't have the opportunity to play a resource for Calamity. We could do Great Fortress of Shihan. I think I might do double Spirits. Just because I'm taking a lot of chip damage from Chlor, and I'm not really sure what to expect at this point. And I think this is a stronger board than doing nothing. Sackless in the command zone. Z Martyr of Peace is a really strong play for us, but I think we have the privilege of being able to set up for Calamity and then play She afterwards, and we could do a Cultural Exchange in the same turn. Commando. And take a little bit of damage here. Can do our Calamity, and then next turn we have Z or She Cultural Exchange, and we can recycle our Calamity. Taking a lot of damage, but that is the way it is. So Cultural Exchange, recycle our Calamity, and then now we have the ability to play 2 additional locations, so we can play both of these over the next couple turns. And this card is really great at stalling, so... Like, he's got to do something about the She, or Just can't do anything for the rest of the game, pretty much. Okay, and we are going to recycle our cultural exchange. Yeah, I like that. I don't think we're at any risk of getting burst down here, so we get to play another one of these. I think we shuffle away one of our calamities because we don't need both. Gao Han's fine. We gain 10 health a turn now. I forget how many of these damn things we've played. I should like write it down because that's the real struggle playing this deck is actually that I forget every single game. I think we'll do a Gao Han because oops, we do not want a Calamity. We'll do a Gao Han here. The scary thing that could happen would be like a flag bearer. And we'll play our urn to start the clock, and the urn is attacking for 12, which is neat. I don't know if that cuts it down from 10 turns to 9. Let's think about that. Yeah, I guess it cuts it down. And he might lose on morale at some point, too. Let's see if I remembered or if I'm existing in a brain fog. You know, Blunt the Assault is actually pretty good here. I think we're gonna do that. And we'll draw. Blunt the Assault kills a lot of his guys. So now he's also low on morale. We can grab our Contained Parallel Rift, which is going to help us start grinding for stuff. And I guess we can play this other one just to kind of thin out our deck. What do we want? Do we want Burg? Yeah, I guess we want Burg. Okay, play that. And we might lose Corrupted Forest because I don't remember how many of those things we played. But look at that, we're back to 52 health. It turns out having 10 health gain a turn is actually pretty solid. And we're going to shuffle away... Actually, you know what? Forget it. It doesn't matter. We'll shuffle away the Calamity. We've got to recycle. Can get another cultural exchange out of our graveyard. May as well. Okay, it looks like we did have room to play that extra location card. So now we can wait for drawing into our cultural exchanges, which we should have. We have one in our deck? No, we have got all three. They're just not next to each other for whatever reason. Honestly, I don't think we really do anything for the rest of the game. I think we just sit here and wait for duelists to die or give up. Oh, here's a I think this is a bug that's existed in the game for a long time. Recycles don't seem to go in the graveyard where they're supposed to. Like, I would like to gather thoughts and get the recycle I played back, but there's like all this random, like they go wherever they feel like, which is not how they're supposed to behave. We have another good Blunt the Assault here, so we might as well do that. I think that, yeah, that wins us the game on morale, so. What a game. Okay, that was pretty cool. Let's play maybe a couple more. See how that goes. Cool. And in case you're wondering, a duelist said that he was actually doing some tournament practice, so the deck he was using was not a joke deck, which is encouraging. I think this deck may be best suited against more fragile aggressive decks. Definitely may struggle more against control decks, especially ones that have ways to remove locations. This is only double Veror, though, so I don't think there's a way to remove the locations in there. This opening hand is quite weak. So I think we'll throw that away. Okay, so 2 cultural exchanges. The Humble's really nice because we can hit the Jade Golem or the Agent Martyr. And brings life by passing. Gone right away. Really wondering which of these is more dangerous. Like, Jade Golem could actually be kind of scary. Agent Martyr, I don't think we care about because we don't have that many locations, or not locations, characters that are going to get hit by it. Like, once we lose Gao Han and Infected Muck, we're probably not going to play for the board that much. Cool. Okay. And we have a cool cultural exchange gather thoughts that gets us Humble back. If we wait an additional turn, we can get both of our cultural exchanges back. So I'm going to do that. We'll start with 1 cultural exchange, and provided that we don't get anything else in our graveyard, which I think we're good on. And I've got a 20-sided die, so we've played 1 cultural exchange. We're going to count this time so that I don't enter this confusing situation where I don't know how many I have. So we'll use 1 cultural exchange, and then we'll gather thoughts. And that puts us up to 2 cultural exchanges, so we can have 3 locations out. Sinister Corruption. That's not great for us because we don't have a way to kill our own Gao Han. And that's going to tick down fast. We have Contained Parallel Rift, so we can get that engine moving. We could Humble our own Gao Han if we really need to. We can also Calamity him. Might be a good way to handle it. We have a lot of cards in this match that don't do a whole lot against Duelist. Blunt the Assault is a great draw here. It kills a lot. I think we just do that because it cracks a few of these and gets the other ones lower for a follow-up Blunt the Assault later. So let's do that. Oh, double Lingbao's Will. That's a little scary. We're going to lose a lot of morale here. Did we... Did I miss something? Did he not... Did I not lose... for some reason, I thought I was going to lose a lot of morale. Okay. We have the Great Fortress of Shihan, which is actually not really that great for us. What we really want to get is Honor Hill, so that we can pressure the board. But we may as well put this out, I guess. Maybe? I don't even really need to be honest, but sure, we'll do it. We really need to kill our Gao Han. Okay, we have a cultural exchange here. That puts us up to 3 cultural exchanges. We may save the recycle for the Calamity. So we'll draw. We'll just pass the turn. Okay. Play Burg. Or no. We want to set up the Calamity. Slowly losing on morale. We drew Honor Hill, which is okay. We don't have any characters out, though, so I think I'll play Shun Howl's Urn to just start pressuring for a victory. And now we're up to 4 cultural exchanges. Okay, there's our Calamity. So we crack that off just to get Gao Han out of the way. Could also just humble our Gao Han, but we may as well just remove him entirely because it also spares us the 6 morale we'd lose for him dying. We may just lose to seeing Demoralize get recycled a lot. Cultural exchange up to 5. Gather thoughts, get our Calamity back into our deck. I don't think playing this is worth it. So we'll just draw. Yeah, Duelist is just drawing to try to get into those demoralizes. Okay. We can play Echo of the Battlefield because it is a... we got another cultural exchange. We're up to 6. Kind of a awkward game to get all of those cultural exchanges when they don't really do much for us. We could play Echo of the Battlefield as a dude because he's got 0 morale costs, so I might do that. There's Corrupted for us. I would have liked to have drawn that. That's okay. Or drawn it next turn, I should say. So this is one of our few cards that actually impacts the board a little. Okay, scary. The Elita's attendant, so we are going to lose a little bit of morale here. We'll play the Burg. Well, we'll shuffle something first. We'll shuffle away our recycle, I suppose. Honor Hill, okay. We'll put the Honor Hill out. Echo of the Battlefield doesn't really attack into anything effectively here. So I think we'll just leave it, I guess. As sad as that is. Maybe we pull Blunt the Assault to try to find a way to deal with this. Yeah, we'll recycle a Blunt the Assault because it also kills Rebel Golem, which is a blocker. And this is the punishment we get for playing characters. So we humble our own guy. This technically can attack now. 6 though. It's only 6. I think we do this. This guy also can attack. It means that we draw fewer cards. Awkward situations. We'll shuffle our recycle back in so that we can shuffle our humble next turn, hopefully. Oh, we lose to the demoralize. Dang. We might have been on a little bit too slow of a game plan to be playing against a morale deck, but that is okay. We can't expect to win them all, especially when we're playing a meme deck like that. We may end up playing against Duelists for all 3 of these games. We have other people online, but they're already in games. Be cool if we had somebody else, but at least Duelist has okay, we did get somebody else, but Duelist at least queues up with a lot of variety of decks, so we're not, even if it was just Duelist, we'd be unlikely to be playing against the same thing back to back. Oh, okay, this is maybe a new player. Whatever they're doing though, they're on a extreme meme strategy. I'm looking at, this is going to be interesting. Could be really good game, could be really cool game, but it's at a minimum it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a slow game too. So we could, if we do this, we have Springs Life by passing, Cultural Exchange on turn 2. Which is it? I never know if I'm making the right choice. Our turn 3 could be this. Either way. Yeah, so we'll do Culture Exchange. We'll do this. Next turn we can play Brings Life by passing. So I think it all comes out to be the same either way. Okay, we have a double Blunt the Assault, which is neat. Can actually do a Blunt the Assault next turn. So we'll be able to catch the Redaria with the Blunt the Assaults, which is not bad at all. We're going to use Recycle because we can be resource efficient here. I guess we might as well. Does this hit Command Zone? Yeah, I guess this is gonna kill their commanders too. So if we do Blunt the Assault, we don't have to deal with Varus. Yeah, so Blunt the Assault turns out to be a pretty good card in my opinion. I was really excited about it. I think I was one of the few people, one of the only people that may have actually overestimated the card, that I thought it was going to be insane. And it turns out it's just very good. But there were some people that were really sleeping on the card. So we get another Blunt the Assault here. It's going to kill that, and softens up Kali. And we may as well attack. This is going to kill something of ours, so we might get some free Echo the Battlefields off of Gao Han, which would be neat. What would be neat about that is that we can follow it up with a Corrupted Forest to be attacking for a whopping 12 damage, which is big. So I'm wondering if this is this might be a old school Infinity Wars player, because they are, even though their deck's really weird, they're what they're doing, the cards they're playing, and the real check here is that so often when I see somebody who's new to the game, they hit you with the 100 card special. With maybe a couple exceptions being like some sleepers decks. Generally, you don't want to run the 100 card special. Okay, so we get our Corrupted Forest, and we can start attacking. And then we can do a Cultural Exchange, Great Fortress of Shihan next turn. They are defending, which is a little surprising. I mean, it worked well for them. So I think we're actually going to do Cultural Exchange Burg. It's a lot better. It's not as resource efficient, but Burg is just a way better card than this one. I wonder if I should be playing more than one Burg, but it just feels like the only time I want more than one is if the first one got destroyed. But Burg is just so good. Okay, so we're seeing some mega unit action. This is getting to be very strange. I suppose it would be irresponsible to not go for this play in case they play into it. I wouldn't play around it. Is it worth ever enraging this? Probably not. We'll just enrage this one. But yeah, Burg is good because it gives you card draw, it gives you ramp, and it gives you threats because you can turn these into 8 12s, which is nothing to scoff at. And they only have 2 morale cost, which means in the control matchup, you can kind of be reckless with how many of them you play, which is very nice. It looks like we did get it, which is solid. This could be a morale win for us, just coincidentally. We have a Gather Thoughts that could pull our Cultural Exchange. So I think we will do that. It's probably better to just play these and buff them up than it is to play this. We'll actually do the Z because this is kind of big. Okay. This has flying. It's no joke. We're in this position where when the plan is working, we don't really need to do anything. So we'll just keep playing our Burg Brings Life by Passings. Wonder if I should run Yuanshi's Wrath in this deck. It just feels like I don't know what I would cut. Like, I feel like I have so much anti-aggro stuff anyways. Yeah, I don't know. I guess there's maybe an argument that Spirit of the Ancient Guardians is not that great, but we've got a lot of things that are really good at dealing with lots of little characters, so might not need more. Luftkrieg, the Luftkrieg 11 anti-air thing is gonna just throw it out there. I think this is one of the worst cards. This thing's so awful. It's 5 resources, only affects a handful of characters, does the damage after you attack, so they still get in for damage, and turns out most flyers actually, a lot of them have more than 4 health, so there's a few ways we could deal with this. One is just pull this back and hope that he doesn't go for it. I think I'm gonna go for the, just do this, and if things go south, we'll just play the Calamity. And I think we are going to pay 9, get an extra resource, even with all the Brings Life by Passings, just because if they go away, I want to still be able to play the Calamity. So he did Zuza our Shi, so we made a reasonable call in pulling it back. He gets some of our stuff, but I don't care. We do a Cultural Exchange, which puts us up to... Oh, I must have forgot to keep track, because I have 3 locations out, so I must have played at least 2 Cultural Exchanges. So we'll count it up to 3 right now, and just hope that I'm vaguely on the right track. I'm a betting man. I'm willing to say that this guy's learned his lesson and he's not going to target this G. If he does, again, I'll just play the Calamity. And we're going to throw away the Rabid Rabbit because it's never going to do anything for us anymore. Still haven't seen a cartographer, so we haven't been able to get like the full engine moving. Looks like he did not go for the Zuza play. So we did get to sneak in some cheeky damage. Play our Great Fortress. Yeah, well, if he wants to steal something with Zuza, it's fine. It's fine. And I think we are going to draw a card. Still nothing. We'll play a Brings Life by passing, because otherwise we'll overdraw from Burg putting stuff into our hand. Still no Urn, still no Cartographer. It's a very slow game. So he gets our She, but like again, I just don't think we care anymore. Like he can have it. It just doesn't affect us, so we'll do that. Could play our other She, but this is probably going to go off at some point, so we'll do that. And we're going to throw away Gao Han in hopes that we get like a Cartographer or something. Okay, not quite. We can recycle our Cultural Exchange. Could also recycle our Recycle, is honestly never a bad option. Okay, so an Infest. He is going to slowly die. There's our Cartographer, so we can finally get Contained Parallel Rift. Start making things move with that. As you can see, maybe this is where it's supposed to be. I don't remember. But sometimes Recycle feels like it doesn't go in the graveyard where I want it to. Do a little that action. We're going to end up overdrawing. So we're going to get Cartographer plus Burg. So I think we'll just play Echo of the Battlefield to prevent that from happening. And he's slowly going to die. But now that we're getting the Contained Parallel Rift, we can finally maybe get our Urn out and put this man out of his misery. Okay, so we do the Contained Parallel Rift. We do a little that. We can do a boom. Boom. Not sure what he's waiting for in terms of like, does he have some kind of combo he's going for? Like, I would slam Martyr of Peace into the defense zone. I know he's only on 10 morale, but still. So I don't think it gets any better for him from here. A little bit of a slow game. But that is how it is sometimes. Gotta make a lot of decisions in Infinity Wars. So he is finally defending with this G. And got cultural exchange, cultural exchange, cultural exchange, which is pretty cool. So that's 6 cultural exchanges, unless I lost track, which I probably did. These will die to that, but I think we still want to get the damage out. I think we shuffle away the madness to make sure that this doesn't do its thing. Oh, sick. We get the cultural exchange, cultural exchange, cultural exchange, gather thoughts. We can get all of our locations out this game, probably. That's incredible. You very, very rarely have the stars align like that. Okay, Tibat kills everything. Very cool. Sick. Okay, so we can do a cultural exchange. That puts us up to 7. We got a Shun's urn, and then we just ship the turn, because Shun's urn will kill him eventually. And we are having this incredibly long game, but I'm having a great time, to be honest, so I'm very cool with it. I really like control games in Infinity Wars, especially ones that I am winning, if you know what I mean. But we're almost at 150 health. The only way we lose this game is by decking out, basically. And I don't know why he doesn't just attack me or something. Cool. Okay, so we can do a Corrupted Forest would bring our clock down from 5 turns to 4. That seems like a smart move. And we can play another cultural exchange, which we're mostly doing for the memes at this point, because I don't think we need Honor Hill. Is that the only one left in our deck? Did we lose something? Am I crazy? Oh, it's in my hand. I'm stupid. Okay. We should have another Corrupted Forest too. Did I miss that? We have 2 in the deck, right? Yeah, we have 2 in the deck. Is this not working? Did I get robbed of 1 Corrupted Forest? Why don't... Oh, it's died. Which, I don't know if I overdrew or if I accidentally played a card when I had not enough cultural exchanges out. He's finally attacking. He's finally doing it. I've already gained incredible amounts of health though, so I think we're probably gonna be all right. We could just fire off the Calamity. I mean, it's probably the smart play, right? Yeah. Better safe than sorry. It is an Enya deck, so, I mean, like, who knows what kind of nonsense he's gonna play. I wonder what he's trying to find, because he just did a lot of reshuffling. Oh, neat, we got our She back. So the clock is even shorter now. So, She, Honor Hill, yeah, there's a cultural exchange. That's 9. think that means we've played more than we ever need. I'm gonna put this back in my deck because I don't think I need a second Calamity, and I'm very greedy. Good news is that he played his mega unit into the She, so cool. Corrupted Forest. We did it. That's all of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, I have one more of these, don't I? Did I lose another card somewhere? Or am I only running 2 of those? There is one more, so we can. And we don't play Cartographer here because Cartographer will put it into our hand where we actually won't draw it. It's like a little less than a 50% chance we draw it next turn, so. He's played every mega unit this game. It's really tragic. I built a new mega unit deck, by the way. We're gonna have to play that at some point. Okay, cool. So we win. We got all the locations out. That was our goal. Okay. What a great way to end it. All right. So cultural exchange. Maybe not that bad of a card. Again, deck list in the description. If you want to try this and have 20-minute games. It's fun. Okay. Hope you all enjoyed, and until next time, take it easy.